Bigla na lang, ayan, meron kang 1.5 million. Ano bibilin mong motorcycle? Hi guys, welcome back. I've been enjoying the colder weather by actually taking the motorcycle or my scooter as often as possible, whether for just a quick ride or actually using it as my main form of commute. Lalo na ngayon, my ever trusted pickup had its first major engine breakdown. For some reason, the timing belt, which was just newly replaced, decided to snap. And if you know anything about an engine, once the timing belt or the timing chain actually breaks, it can get very catastrophic to the internals of the engine. So I'm still hoping it's not that bad, but they're going to be opening up the engine very soon. So back to that me using the motorcycle or the scooter, specifically this Vespa that I've been using more regularly. It got me asking now, what is actually better? Are you going to commute with the motorcycle or are you going to commute with the car? Because obviously each has their own pros and each has their own cons. So let's go through first taking the car. Pros is you will always be comfortable no matter what, whether you're stuck in traffic, whether it's raining really hard. You will always be comfortable in your chair and no sweat. You won't arrive at your destination full of sweat, diba? And you're feeling very fresh. Another pro is you can easily take passengers with you, meaning you can bring more than just one person to your destination, and you can haul stuff. Especially my pickup truck, I can bring so many things and carry a lot of things. So if I decide to buy a refrigerator, I can always just bring the pickup truck and put it at the back. But something I will never and I can never do when I'm on a motorcycle. Another pro is, of course, it's much safer than being on two wheels, exposed to not just the weather, but also you are going to be more susceptible to injuries if an accident happens. Now compare that to a car. Unless the accident is really, really, really bad, but if you're in the city most of the time and just having a fender bender, there's nothing that you are most likely going to be unharmed in majority of the accidents that you will get into. Now let's talk about the pros of owning a motorcycle. Now, of course, with the motorcycle, it's still relatively much cheaper. Outright cost is still much cheaper, and maintenance depends, I guess. But for something like this scooter, where I have to change oil maybe every 3 to 4 months, but the consumption is just 1 liter of oil. My Ford Ranger requires 7 liters of oil. But of course, it kind of evens out when you're talking about the big bike. Like the Ducati requires 3 liters of oil and requires twice as much time to change oil as compared to those. So medyo even out yung cost if you're going to compare the Ducati against the my Ranger. Second is if you're stuck in traffic. Sorry, if you're in a car, you're stuck in traffic. But if you're in a motorcycle, you're stuck in traffic, you can always find palusot-lusot lang yan eh. Diba? You will always arrive at your destination much faster when you're in a motorcycle, because tulad dito, I can just go through small gaps between the cars I know it's not really legal, but this is actually the most efficient way of motorcycles traversing the metro. Is when the cars are not moving, if all the motorcycles also stop moving, the traffic is going to actually get worse because everyone's going to be lining up. But if we can split lanes, we can actually be moving while the cars are still not going to be affected much. Another pro is like today. I'm meeting a bunch of friends for lunch, and one of their major concern, nako, puno doon, walang parking. Well, I'm not going to be too concerned because a lot of time, all I need is a very, very small area. And since the motorcycle parking in malls, ang daming grab that goes in and out, mas wala akong problemang mawawalan ng parking, palaging meron. Mas concern ko pa nga yung big bike because the big bike usually takes one whole car spot so para akong kotse rin. But I'm talking here more of what I like to use, which is the Vespa. Another pro is, of course, fuel consumption. I can easily do more than 23 to 24 kilometers to a liter with this Vespa, and that's already me being heavy on the throttle. But if I'm going to take it really lighter on the throttle, I can easily gain more fuel mileage out of it. The Ducati, if I'm doing long rides, that's easily around 18-19 kilometers to a liter, but mostly city driving, a lot of high revving, 16 is probably what I'll get. But let's compare that to my Ford Ranger. My Ford Ranger, a diesel supposedly, which is more fuel efficient, is still just getting me around 8 to 9 kilometers to a liter. And the sad part, diesel is now more expensive than gas. So nawala na yung fuel savings ko dahil sa diesel. Now what are things that are pretty much similar when it comes to the ownership of both cars? Yeah. So we've been talking about mostly of the pros. Now what are the cons? Now I think I've already mentioned, like if you're in a car, you're stuck in traffic. Parking is going to be your issue. The outright expense, the cost is actually going to be much higher. If I were to buy the same similarly spec Ranger that I have now, but the more current model, I'm looking at around 1.5 million. And then if this now, for the motorcycle naman, the biggest con is if not the accident, or what can happen if you are involved in an accident, is you are exposed to the harsh weather of the Philippines, which is either very hot or very wet. And it may not be raining now, but I am still using a jacket. But this is not just for protection, but this not because it's for the rain protection, but this is actually for UV protection. If I did wear any long sleeve shirt, my arms would get dark, diba? Kaya makikita mo, ang favorite ng mga riders is still a long sleeve jersey because this is going to help them when it comes to UV protection. So this put me now into a hypothetical question. Diba? If I had 1.5 million, the cost of buying a car, what motorcycle would I buy? Kasi ano na lang tayo, let's go for wishful thinking. No, na bigla na lang, ayan, meron kang 1.5 million. Ano bibilin mong motorcycle? 3 motorcycle that you would buy. Diba? Hindi pwedeng isang 1.5 million lang na motorcycle. It has to be 3 motorcycles because that's going to be your ride for, let's say, 5 years. Yan yung gagamitin mo for 5 years. So, sa akin is, if I had 1.5 million, let's go into 2 categories. One is if I'm buying everything brand new, and second, if I'm buying used. And used meaning I'm going to base the prices on what's in Facebook Marketplace. So if I were to buy new, let's start off with buying new with 1.5 million, I would buy the Yamaha XSR 900, which is I think around 750,000 to 800, around 800,000. That's an XSR 900, a brand new one. And then that's going to be more of my short rides, my sporty bike. But if I was going to go longer rides, I would supplement the XSR 900 with a Suzuki V-Strom 650, which is around 500,000. And then that would put me around 1.3 million. So 200,000, I think it's fairly obvious I would buy a Vespa, 150cc Vespa, and that will put me at 1.5 million. So now I have my XSR for my shorter rides, and those times I want to be more sporty. And then if I wanted to do really long rides with luggages and everything, I would use the V-Strom 650. And for my daily commute would be the Vespa 150. But if I were going to buy used, everything would change. Everything would change. The cost would still be the same, 1.5 million, but I would be getting better. For me, these are better motorcycles. You know, I'm an advocate of used motorcycles. First, I would buy a Triumph, which is a 2019 Triumph Speed Twin 1200. That would be my city short ride kind of motorcycle. And then for long distance ride, I would get the Triumph is around 850,000 for a 2019. And then for around 550,000, I would get now for my long touring a 2019 KTM 790 Adventure, also a 2019 model. And then that would leave me with around 100,000. So I would buy probably also 2019 or 2020 Honda ADV 150. So both of them, I would spend around 1.5. What about you guys? I would love to hear what's your choices if you had 1.5 million. That's in pagising mo. Ito, 1.5 million. And you can buy... You have 1.5 million and you can buy 3 motorcycles, and that's the only mode of transportation you're going to have for 5 years. So, yun yung, in a word, this is of course theoretical. This is hypothetical, diba? So, kayo, what would you buy if you had 1.5 million? What are your 3 bike choices if it's brand new, and what is your 3 bike choices if you're going to buy used? Okay guys, thank you. And if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so. And I'll see you again in my next vlog. Bye.